Paintball War. How this arrived on our list is a question for another time. This free-to-play multiplayer first-person shooter is proud of its record for being its first realistic paintball game. Too bad it suffers from awful controls, slow movement, and bugs all over. But hey, at least it's for free! It receives a provisional play score of a 4.29. Idle Heist. A free-to-play idle clicker from Chimp Labs, this game's main objective is to steal as much money from the back before the popos arrive. But the real challenge is the patience to make it through its unpolished and boring gameplay. It has a provisional play score of a 4.80. Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn. This beat-em-up adventure game features the NBA icon Shaquille O'Neal off to a path of greatness in the realm of Kung Fu. Engage in fun and epic battles with unique enemies as you explore numerous locations. Fend off hordes and baddies from pop culture icons to lowly street criminals from hell and beyond. It receives a provisional play score of a 5.40. Tennis World Tour. Be a part of this tennis simulation game from Breakpoint, but you have to make sure you won't be disappointed when you find out this game has no multiplayer. Not to mention, it has bad optimization. It receives a provisional play score of a 5.55. Far Cry 5 Hours of Darkness. How are the Vietnam flashbacks doing, guys? Ubisoft's downloadable content is here for the latest Far Cry game takes you to the center of the Vietnam War. Hope County is far away from this place, and this long-hour shooter is a survival experience you won't recover from. It has a provisional play score of a 5.63. The Crew 2. Ubisoft's open-world extreme motorsports takes you guys to the land, skies, and the sea. Use a myriad of vehicles in intense driving action. Too bad the game is riddled with microtransactions and the typical Ubisoft business model. It has a play score of a 6.20. Memories of Mars. Set 100 years into the future, explore and survive the Red Planet with all your resources. This survival open-world game is still in its early access phase, so it does have its fair share of problems, and it's not in a good state as of the moment, with a provisional play score of a 6.30. Soul at Stake. Currently on Steam's Early Access, by the way, this Oriental-themed 1 vs 4 survival horror game is similar to Dead by Daylight, except it's made by Chinese. It has a lot of potential, and it receives a provisional play score of a 6.37. Lust for Darkness, a psychological horror game with tons of sexual content. Trapped in an alien world with otherworldly creatures, find a way to escape this never-ending nightmare filled with the occult and eroticism. You guys are gonna like this. Explore the confines of this alternate Victorian mansion as you run away from beasts and your very own demons. The Walking Simulator receives a play score of a 6.47. Anti-Graviator, a futuristic racing game created by Cybernetic Walrus. It's a whole new take on the anti-gravitational genre, but you could tell it's heavily inspired by the iconic Wipeout series. Overtake your enemies in its neon-lit tracks and feel the pulsating speed with no limits, with a provisional play score of a 6.55. Contagion VR Outbreak. If you've ever wanted to be in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, then this virtual reality lets you be a survivor in an outbreak that turned every living thing into a nightmare. Team up with your friends in a co-op adventure or test your skills in a PvP combat. Still on early access, by the way, it has its optimization issues that still needs resolving. It receives a provisional play score of a 6.68. Illusion Tale of the Mind. This indie adventure game by Freema Studio lets you control Emma as she wanders inside an illusionist's mind in search of her father's killer. Despite its creative world, though, it fails to bring a whole new direction when it comes to enjoyment. It receives a provisional play score of a 6.75. Realm Royale. High-res answer to the Battle Royale craze. Create your own champion and dive into a massive realm with 100 players. Last one alive wins. Choose from a variety of class, weapons, and abilities to dominate the battlefield. It receives a provisional play score of a 6.81. Flashing Lights, Police Fire EMS, a simulator made for people active on the police, medical, and fire departments. For hardcore emergency volunteers out there, this game is for you. Save lives, put out fires, and meet with fellow players in its online mode. Currently on Steam's Early Access, it does have a provisional play score of a 6.96. Darkest Dungeon, Color of Madness. A downloadable content from Red Hook Studios' punishing Lovecraftian RPG. Enter a whole new region called the Farmstead and avert a mysterious alien object from threatening the existence of men. This new story expansion adds more problems to your party, such as new bosses, quirks, and tons of psychological dread. It receives a provisional play score with a 6.98. Jurassic World Evolution. If life finds a way, video game publishers can too. This video game is based on the award-winning franchise from Steven Spielberg. Create your own Jurassic Park and bioengineer dinosaurs that can think, feel, and react intelligently to the world around you. It has a lot of potential despite its shortcomings, but if you're a fan of simulators and dinosaurs, then this might be for you. It has a play score of a 7.18. Totally Accurate Battlegrounds. Move over Bluehole and Unreal. This is the definitive Battle Royale experience. Landfall's hilarious physics-based multiplayer is filled with action, alright, but it's downright insane every step you take. You can't help but laugh at their absurd antics. It totally makes a meme out of the whole Battle Royale genre, and it has a provisional play score of a 7.24. Okay, hold up. Wait. Did you guys subscribe yet to the What to Play YouTube channel? Because if you haven't, then subscribe down below. It's right over there. It's red, it's bold, and it's awesome, so I hope you guys can do that. Okay, you may now resume to your video. MotoGP 18. Considered as the ultimate MotoGP experience, it's made for the avid fans of the series. Start your engines and drive into its true-to-life visuals with an impressive attention to detail. Critics love the game's improvements, especially with its riding animations. It has a provisional play score of a 7.30. Vampire. Dontnod's latest game is set during the 1918 London period. Play as troubled doctor/vampire and pick between two sides of the coin in a flu-ravaged city. Are you going to be a bloodthirsty beast or a savior? Your choices will definitely determine the future of London. Use your supernatural abilities to fight your enemies with a play score of a 7.30. LEGO The Incredibles. TT Fusion's incredible take on the adorable adventures of the Power family is full of fun and humor. Help them as they stop crime and lead their family at the same time. It's set during the original movie and the sequel, so that's 2 games in 1. Meet your favorite characters from the series and unlock LEGO's secrets by solving puzzles and so much more. It has a provisional play score of a 7.41. SGZH Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter. Tam's soft survival shooter is about less clothes and more action, if you know what I mean. Fend off a horde of undead with your wide variety of guns, and the more damage you take, the more your clothes disappear. Make it out live inside Kirisaki High School because this game has a provisional play score of a 7.42. BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. An epic crossover fighting game from Arc System Works brings you guys the beloved characters of the Persona 4 series, Under Night and Birth and Ruby, all joining together for the BlazBlue heroes in a star-studded 2D fighting game. It's a crossover collision that you can't ever miss. It has a play score of a 7.46. Dude, stop! From Team Half-Breed, this funny puzzle game lets you break the game's own rules. All you have to do is to make fun of everything the game offers. Mess up with a countless amount of puzzles, and dude, don't stop! It has a provisional play score of a 7.56. IO Soccer, a free, non-commercial soccer game. It's simple and it offers the fundamental elements of the well-beloved ball game. No microtransactions and no unnecessary additions. It's on early access with a provisional play score of a 7.59. Cuisine Royale. Holy crap, a kitchen-based battle royale. As if Blue Hole's pan wasn't enough, use a variety of kitchen tools to protect yourself from this ridiculous warfare. This was supposed to be an April Fool's prank, but it got out of control and they turned it into a full-fledged game. This game has a provisional play score of a 7.60. Unravel 2. It takes two to tango in this latest installment of Electronic Arts' adorable platformer. This time, grab a friend because of its new co-op multiplayer. Players can assume the role of the original guy while the other controls the other Yarny. Together, they solve puzzles and witness the breathtaking vistas of their tiny world. It has a provisional play score of a 7.62. Budget Cuts. A virtual reality game where you sneak your way through dangerous robots in a company under budget cuts. It's like your regular life in the office. Use your ninja skills as you take down these pesky machines with your office tools. It has a provisional play score of a 7.66. Prey Moon Crash. A downloadable content from Bethesda's sci-fi horror shooter. Enter a secret TranStar moon base and survive overwhelming odds of danger. This time around, the game evolves into a roguelike experience. Players will encounter new levels, aliens, weapons, and so much more. It offers an infinitely replayable campaign that tests your resourcefulness and patience. It's not the Prey you once knew, but it's a good addition to the game with a provisional play score of a 7.70. Gunheart. An online co-op RPG from Drifter Entertainment. Be a robotic bounty hunter with customizable features as you explore the far reaches of the galaxy looking for resources and rare enemies to fight. The game has VR support, so if you want a more immersive feel, it has a provisional play score of a 7.80. The Sims 4 Seasons. The latest downloadable content in The Sim 4. Enjoy the holidays with your Sims in a calendar of seasons. Make the most out of your time under the crisp snowfalls during the winter, the sweltering heat during summer, and so much more. It does have a provisional play score of a 7.86. Dust and Wheels. Kiwa Games takes you to their beautiful and atmospheric racing world. Returning to the old-school arcade you once knew, experience the thrill and excitement of white-knuckle racing. It receives a provisional play score of an 8.40. The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Don't Nod's prologue to their most anticipated Life is Strange 2 follows the life of Chris and his make-believe persona of Captain Spirit. Make heroic decisions, fend off imaginary baddies, and enjoy the mesmerizing music. It receives a play score of an 8.43. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. The ultimate Crash Bandicoot experience. Everyone's favorite Tasmanian Devil is out on the PC with exciting platforming fun, and most of all, it's now fully remastered. It receives a provisional play score of an 8.44. Witch Hunt, an early access indie horror game set in the 18th century. Go on a non-linear exploration with a haunting atmosphere. Play as a witch hunter tasked to eliminate an evil lurking in the woods of Belleville. It does receive a provisional play score of an 8.45. Stone Shard Prologue, a free-to-play indie RPG adventure from Inkstains Games. This is a playable prologue from the actual game called Stone Shard. Learn the story behind the game's main characters in this 2 to 3 hour worth of turn-based gameplay. It receives a provisional play score of an 8.70. Football Tactics and Glory, a turn-based football game from Creo Team with RPG elements. Level up your units after clashes on each stadiums and turn your team into a worthy investment. It's not your typical sports game that you know and love. Its unique elements makes the game worthy of a provisional play score of an 8.92.